Alright, so I have a situation where the battery terminal on this, the positive battery terminal, was loose. And it's not a good thing if your battery terminal is loose. So I messed around, tried a few different things, and ended up taking it off and excuse me, cleaning the battery terminals off with this, wiping them down just with some Kleenex, some tissue. So I cleaned those all off. I cleaned this off on the inside and cleaned that, wipe that down. Alright, so that's the first part. Just, if it's loose, take it off, try to clean it. Alright, here's going to be the next part is, got a couple of these battery terminal washers and battery post shims. Since I got a loose connection on the positive terminal, I'm gonna put one of these shims on there, fit it on there, and then put this guy back on there. Have to loosen that screw up maybe a bit to fit it over that shim. But the problem is that this screw, when it tightens down, I don't know if it's just because the connector is old, but does not get a good grip and it's loose. So I found these shims and I'm gonna put one of those on, just the positive. Negative is still just fine, but positive is loose. So I'll throw a shim on there after cleaning it all up, and I'm also going to put on one of these felt prevents terminal corrosion battery terminal washers. Got these at AutoZone. Alright, so it looks like these battery terminal washers here. They're inexpensive. Throw one there. Green must go on the negative, huh? Throw a red one on the positive. That's because, you know, if we got extra stuff going on here, I figure corrosion might be an extra problem because there's more stuff to react with. So hopefully these help. And next is the shim. Alright, so I took the scissors here. By the way, these nuts on both terminals are 10 millimeter. So having a 10 millimeter socket, and one of these I can only get to with an extension too. So make sure to have your 10 millimeters in stock. All right, so here's the shim. Put it on there. See if this fits. I didn't loosen this up yet, so I'll have to loosen it up some more, get it on there. Alright, so the positive terminal is the one I ended up needing the extension for. I tried a 10 millimeter screwdriver type thing, and that was killing my hand, so the ratchet is the way to go. But I loosened it up and got to loosen it up some more here because I tried to fit it on there. And it doesn't want to go all the way on, so I'm just going to keep loosening it up. Until it gets nice and on there, really a little bit more. All right, it's getting on there pretty good, settling all the way down, and I've had to work it a little bit, but I will tell you that on Hondas, maybe it seems to be maybe the stock connector here fatigues with time and doesn't get a good grip, and once that's loose, then the whole electrical system trying to recharge the battery is not in a good situation, because the alternator is trying to recharge the battery, but it's got a loose connection, so it's making that alternator work extra hard, and the battery's not getting charged nicely. So it'll kill your battery because it's stressing the battery, and it'll kill your alternator. And once that alternator dies, then your battery is going to go dead, and then you'll wind up on the side of the road with a dead battery. And then you'll think, oh, maybe it's just my alternator, but the alternator also killed your battery because the connection was loose, and it just messes everything up. So, good connections, dang, they are so important. And hopefully this connects well and gets is really conductive. I'm going to try to tighten it down here. All right, so the other thing is that as I'm tightening this down, I'm needing two hands, and I don't have a good camera set up, so I'm having to pause it and work on it with my camera off. But I've been pushing down on this as I tighten it up, because it feels like maybe these terminals are slightly cone shaped or something, so that stuff wants to, as you tighten it up, kind of wants to work its way up and off of there. So you got to push down on there as you tighten it up, you know. And it is tightening up. Before there was no gap here, and this screw was trying to tighten down all the way down to where, you know, it was still loose on there, and it was all the way tight, all the way closed. So this shim, I tried to tap it with a hammer too, just to work it down on there, but this is really soft metal. Maybe it's lead. Yep, it's pretty soft. So as soon as you start tapping, stuff starts bending and warping, and that's not good. So I need two hands, so I gotta pause it. Alright, so this used to be loose. I cleaned it, put the battery terminal shim or battery post shim on there, and loosened this up and worked it on there all down, tightened it back up, and now it's very solid. This broke down, or it would not start up this morning, and I had a feeling it was a loose connection, so I tried it out, and yeah, it was a loose. And I tried a couple different things to get it a decent connection, and hopefully this will will do a nice job for a long term, as long as the life of this battery. I'll have to keep checking it every once in a while, but I'll throw this other put the negative terminal back on there just without a shim, because that's nice and tight without it. And yeah, it should work good. So the alternative to all this was trying to take this apart and swap it out with a whole new set of hardware here. But as you can see, it's not just one little piece here. So I didn't want to have to do that. And this, I found this battery post shim through YouTube. Watched another video. Got it at AutoZone, because I owe them for helping me out with parts warranties and stuff. So yeah, nice and easy. Throw it on there with a couple of these guys. Hopefully these help reduce corrosion too, the battery terminal washers. And yeah, pretty easy. All right, the car's put back together and the battery's in there, and electrics seem to be functioning just fine. So it was a good job done. Pretty easy. I mean, easy stuff, of course. But one thing about today that I wish I had in the vehicle with me when it started was a simple, small ratchet. So if you can get a 10mm ratchet, little or socket, and that's the most common, and then get a 1/4" ratchet with an extension. That's a good thing to have in the vehicle. So